Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
YouTube, what is going on? Welcome to Philly Take with RB, home of the hottest sports takes presented to you by yours truly. Man, if you are as bored as I've been lately with this whole quarantine thing and you just want to go back to regular life and you want to watch some sports on TV, smash that like button. And if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you want to stay updated on some great Philadelphia sports content, I'm going to need you to hit that subscribe. So look, as of right now, the only thing that we are hanging on to, us sports fans, by a thread is the NFL. We've been, staying up to date with NFL free agency. Howie Roseman has had a good past couple of days, going out and getting a safety in Will Parks, getting a linebacker finally in Jatavis Brown. This is after acquiring the all-pro corner in Darius Slay to kind of shore up our defense. Howie's doing big things after a quiet first couple days of free agency. The defense is looking good on that side of the ball. But now, if we look at something even bigger, coming up in just about a month, I don't know how it's going to operate yet, but that is the NFL draft. And all we've been talking about for the last couple weeks is how loaded this draft is with wide receivers. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that, after going out and, signing these guys in free agency to help the defense out, it looks like the Eagles are going to go wide receiver in the first round at pick 21, because this draft, let me tell you, is loaded with wide receivers. So today I kind of just want to talk about the top 3 selections that I think are presented to the Eagles in terms of a realistic situation. Okay, so we're not going to really go into depth on Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb, because in my opinion those guys are probably going to be off the board by pick 13, pick 14, around that range, maybe even higher, maybe top 7, top 10, okay? Those guys are big time. Now, the Eagles could always trade up in the draft. We know that. Howie said he wants to shake things up in the draft. The Eagles could go all the way up. I just, in recent years, I really don't see the Eagles or Howie Roseman being that type of dude that wants to trade up and make that big of a splash for a wide receiver in a class where the wide receivers are loaded, okay? To be actually quite honest with you, the last couple years, outside of last year, last year we knew the Eagles needed an offensive tackle, and they went out and drafted Andre Dillard in the first round. We wanted them to do that. But besides that, even years before, the Howie Roseman in the front office, they usually, pick a guy in the first round or a position that we really just don't expect, I feel like that's been the trend of the Eagles. Either they go out and they pick, a guy at the position that you probably want, or they just pick some dude that you maybe even never heard of, like that type of dude that might have snuck up. But anyway, in terms of the Eagles, they'll be picking at 21st, unless they go and trade in the first round. And to me, there's about 3 to 4 receivers in that range who I think could still be there and I think are big time players. The first one that we are going to dive into, and keep in mind, this is a realistic scenario, okay? We need a dude that can complement Deshaun Jackson, that is going to fit in this offense with 2 tight ends. We need a dude that is going to ball out for the Eagles, not turn out what we saw in the first year from J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, okay? So the first dude I want to look at is Henry Ruggs III from Alabama. This dude is about 5'11", maybe 6 feet tall, about 195 pounds, and the dude is a baller, okay? When I look at Henry Ruggs, I think that this dude has star potential. Watching him on tape, watching him on film, watching him during games this year, he just is explosive, okay? We saw his combine performance, and that definitely increased his stock. He looks so good. He looks ready to be a professional, okay? He had a 4.28 in the 40. And the dude can also catch. He's a little bit on the short side, but guess what? His explosiveness, that speed, the ability to stretch the field, that dude is going to be big time in my opinion. We saw what he did at Alabama, and he wasn't even the number 1 there. That was Jerry Jeudy. Henry Ruggs can be a baller in any type of offense. Henry Ruggs, I have it written down here. He almost averaged 20 yards per catch last year. Almost 20 yards per catch. To me, kind of strikes me as a dude that can maybe play a couple couple kind of different roles within an offense. You know, he can come out of the slot, out of the backfield. He can be a big stretch type of dude. He's just so fast. You can move him in motion. The dude literally can do everything. I think it would be perfect to bring him into the Eagles offense, you know, next to a dude like Deshaun Jackson, who obviously isn't going to be here forever, but if he can learn from a dude like Deshaun Jackson and even turn out to anything close to what he was, man, let me tell you, Henry Ruggs, and he probably even has more star potential than Deshaun Jackson did when he came in the league. I see a lot for Henry Ruggs, and I think just what we've seen the last couple weeks in the combine and just going through the whole process, Ruggs, his draft stock is increasing and increasing, and to be quite honest with you, at this point, I don't think Henry Ruggs is going to be there at pick 21 for the Eagles. Would Howie be willing to trade up maybe 5 to 6 slots? Again, this class is loaded with wide receivers. There will be good options there when it's time for the Eagles to pick. But Henry Ruggs, if we can go up somehow and get this dude, I know people are high on him. Let me tell you, his explosiveness with his ability to catch the ball, to stretch the field, he's a smart player. Henry Ruggs to me looks like a star in the making. Next, I want to talk about Justin Jefferson from LSU. This dude had 18 touchdowns on the year. You know, obviously LSU, national champions, they balled out this year. Joe Burrow went absolutely nuts. That's also important to keep in mind when evaluating Justin Jefferson. He probably had the best quarterback season that, you know, we've ever seen maybe in college football in Joe Burrow. But let me tell you, Justin Jefferson, he is a dude that will complement an offense from day one. Whether I don't think he'll be a number one, obviously. He'll maybe be a number 2, number 3. But Justin Jefferson stands at 6'1", just over 200 pounds, a junior out of LSU. This dude, he's a little bit on the slow side, okay? He's not there yet. But the potential that I see from him is off the charts. Justin Jefferson can come in. He can be a dude that catches the ball 8 to 10 times a game. He can be a dude, you can line him up against any corner. He's going to dominate. Now, from the film, I've seen that Justin Jefferson is a little bit slow. He can't really separate that well from his defenders. Obviously, that goes into technique and teaching these guys, and that's been a problem with the Eagles receivers in the past, you know, not being able to really separate from their defenders. But I think we got some new offensive minds coming in here. I think the way, you know, we got weapons coming back, especially with a dude like Alshon who looks like he's on his way out. I think Justin Jefferson brings a lot of the tools that Alshon kind of had. Maybe not as much as Alshon, but I think Justin Jefferson is a dude that you can really line up and be expected to produce from day one of the offense, you know, maybe as a number 2. I really like what this dude brings to the table, and, you know, being a Louisiana native and going to LSU, staying home, his freshman year didn't even, you know, really get in the game that much. It really didn't catch a ball, and the next year he leads his team in receiving. And then the next year he has 18 touchdowns on the national championship team. I've seen a lot of improvement from this kid. He's humble, he works hard, and I think, you know, he kind of brings that Philly attitude. I think he would be great here, and to me, he's probably the most realistic pick and projection for the Eagles at pick 21 because I think he will be there. I don't think other teams view him as high. I've seen some draft boards that even have him late in the second round. I mean, I think Justin Jefferson will be there at pick 21, and if these other guys go, if the Eagles do not move up and get Ruggs or even jump all the way up, go get a Jerry Jeudy, someone like that, I think Justin Jefferson would be a great pick in the first round for the Eagles, and I think what he brings to the table will complement this Eagles offense as a whole, and I'm really, really high on this kid. And then the last dude that I'm really interested in seeing where he goes in this draft, and I think it would be great for the Eagles at 21, maybe a little high, is Denzel Mims from Baylor. I know people are projecting this dude to be maybe mid-second round, kind of in that range, maybe even sneak up to the end of the first round. 21 might be a little high. Maybe we could trade back a little bit and get him, but this dude is big, okay? He's like, what, 6'3", 215, a senior out of Baylor. Obviously, in the system that he was in, he really didn't have, you know, the people teach him too much of how to develop as a football player, if, you know, as opposed to if he went to an Alabama or a Clemson or a school like that. But what I've seen from Denzel Mims is his athletic ability. He has that natural talent, you know. He has that talent, but he needs a system that will motivate him, that will, you know, really teach him the ins and outs of the game, really get him going as a receiver. I think he locates the ball well. He has the size and speed to be a big name, strengthy type of receiver. You know, like he's a dude that you can put at the wide out and he's going to go up and catch the ball. But he needs to learn more of the game. He needs to develop. Obviously, like I said, he might be a little too high at 21, but I'm pretty sure he'll be there at that point. But if we can trade back and maybe get a couple more picks or something like that, I don't know. Denzel Mims to me would be a great pick at 21. I think if he has the right dudes and the right system to teach him to be aggressive and to go up, because this dude, I know he's been compared to, you know, some big time receivers throughout history. This dude, his potential is up here, all right? It is all the way up here. What did he run? A 4.38 in the 40? Not too bad for a big dude. He's 215 pounds. Remember, he's a big dude, and he actually ran a quicker 40 than Justin Jefferson did. So just something to keep in mind. I think Denzel Mims could turn into an elite pro. I think, you know, we saw what DK Metcalf did with the Seahawks this year. No one was expecting that out of him because of, you know, how he ran in the drills at the combine last year. But Denzel Mims, don't be fooled. This dude has some talent, and I think if all these other guys are off the board at 21, Denzel Mims is a guy that you really have to do your research on and look into if you are the Eagles. Like I said, overall, all three of these dudes would be big time picks for me if I'm the Eagles at pick 21. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen if they trade up, trade down, do what? Who knows? But we do know that Aguilar is gone. Alshon is most likely gone. So we're going to need a dude to come in here and be productive. A lot of people have given up on Arcega-Whiteside. I kind of have too. So I really think we need to hit in this draft. This draft is loaded with wide receivers. Even if, you know, we get a guy in the first round, we don't hit on him. The second round's going to be huge. The third round's going to be huge. Don't forget, we got picks. A lot of picks in this draft. So, you know, a guy we could maybe get in the second or third round, like a KJ Hamler. A big dude, if we don't hit Denzel Mims, maybe a Chase Claypool. A dude like that to come in and produce on this offense. Obviously, no dudes are really polished, you know, like a Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb, but don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. There is a lot of talent in wide receiver in this draft. There might be like 5, 6, or 7 receivers that could possibly go in the first round. That's how loaded this draft class is. And let me tell you, overall, no matter who we pick, the Eagles need to get it right. They need to hit in the draft this year. This time it is essential. Like I said, with these guys departing, with this offense, it is Carson Wentz's time. We need to give him a playmaker out there. Most realistically, I think the Eagles will end up getting Justin Jefferson at 21 in the draft. But all these dudes present really interesting opportunities. I would go watch the film on them if I was you. Let me know down below which wide receiver really catches your eye the most. Who do you think the Eagles should get in the first or maybe the second round at wide receiver to help fill this team up, fill this roster? And who do you think will end up being a star out of the wide receivers in this draft? Let me know it all down below. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.